Ah yes, the tall grass. I don't normally play with shaders on it. I don't know if it's a good idea. I don't know how much computer's getting taxed for it. Get my frames right now. It's not the best, but it's doable. So yeah, I'm gonna have a look around. It's also very nice to have multiple different types of wood around here. We've got jungle and oak here, and then there's acacia just over on the hill there. Okay, I'm not even gonna wait around. I'm just gonna jump straight to stone tools. I don't. Okay, so I think the game plan is to get a little bit of food, and then maybe take a look for some kind of village, because I'd like to base near a village. Normally that's what I do, and it's honestly really helpful to just have villagers close by. So are those... Well, those are eggs. They're brown eggs. Why do I feel like I've never seen those before? How new is that? It's become night so quickly. I need to run over and get those other sheep, because don't have the same colored wool. Actually, if I find some cocoa beans, I could just craft another piece of brown wool, but I think I'll just head over here and kill the sheep instead. Okay, first little bit of iron. Perfect. Is there any more lying around? I don't really want to pick up the copper. I don't really have any use for that yet, but I will take more of the coal. Okay, so all of the stuff down here is very enticing, but those guys, we need to stay clear from there. So I don't think I'm gonna head down there yet. Okay, I wasn't recording, but a baby zombie, like, was coming after me and nearly took me out there. We are all good. Ooh, the way that this looks is very pretty. Okay, so I just decided to pause for a second in order to actually cook some food. And I always forget about campfires. I should use these more often. Don't use any fuel. Ooh, so I really want to remember this place because, I don't know, this just looks very... This is a very nice scene right here. I don't know if I want to build here for sure, but it's a nice place to be, definitely. And I want to know what's on the other side of these peaks over here. Maybe we'll find a village nearby, and in which case maybe we will build here. We'll see. Yeah, this is actually a really crazy place. Like, in here too is really cool. Like, if I could build in here, that would be fantastic. So I definitely do want to do that, but there's a lot of things I need to do before that. Like, I need to find that village. I also want to see if I can find some more wood types. I want spruce, definitely, and maybe mangrove as well, or dark oak. I'm not entirely sure. I just kind of just want to get all the different wood types, if that makes sense. I'm not as concerned about acacia. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure what I want to build just yet, but it's probably going to be in this area. I really like this a lot. Oh my lord, the kelp looks crazy. Dark oak! Dark oak, there's a wood type. Dark oak, we want that. Ooh, so I'm probably just going to throw a chest down for now because my inventory is completely full and I want to be able to pick up more mushrooms. I want to be able to go to that ruined portal that's over there, and I want to be able to find a village, continue exploring a little bit. So I need to empty my pockets before I do any of that. And so this little open place here seems like the right place to do it. I might even put my bed down here, just like permanently, at least for now. That way, yes. Okay, so we can just quickly empty everything out right now. Oh, look at those guys out there. I want to get me one of those. I gotta get me one of those. No, but in all seriousness, though, I do actually want to see if I can find a saddle and some Nautilus armor at some point and give those guys a ride. I'd like to... Maybe it'd be a good way to traverse the ocean, actually, is to go out on the Nautilus and explore that way. Until then, though, I will be traversing the ocean on a boat, and I've managed to find a shipwreck. That's not a lot of loot, all things considered, but head down here. We got some trims, and we have a buried treasure map. Yes. We can get a Heart of the Sea. Ooh, there's Nautilus armor in here. Look at that. Copper Nautilus armor. Now we just need a saddle. There we go. Ooh. Ooh. Got some very nice things. We got some fish, iron, emeralds, gold, single diamond. Of course, we got the heart of the sea, and we've got more Nautilus armor. We can really customize our Nautilus to the liking. Yeah, I feel like I always get really lucky with these igloos, so please have a basement. Yes, yes it does. Ooh, and I realize there's villagers here. There's villagers here. We don't theoretically need to find a village because these guys are here. Throw that back. Probably put that back too. Okay, so what I'm thinking is we cure this villager. We also get a brewing stand, which is great, and a cactus. We can start farming that. So, I'm gonna do. Okay. Now he's gonna cure. And then we will have 2 villagers that we can bring back with us to our little mountain area over there. I'm just gonna have to boat them for now, and maybe when I get more iron, I can build a minecart rail. Alright. We're done. We have 2 villagers down here. Now, I don't know if I can really do anything about it right now. My inventory's full again. I need to empty out some junk. But basically, what I want to see if I can do is get one of these guys out of here. Hopefully he'll go up the ladder to the top, and then I can use a boat to get him back across the ocean. This is going to be a very, very slow process. I mean, I just got to get him to the water, I guess. Once he's over there, then it'll be pretty straightforward. I can just put him in the boat. Okay, here we go. I'm on to the second villager now. If neither of these guys die, I will be incredibly pleased with myself. Okay, it might be a little bit harder to see because it is raining right now. But this is the place we found earlier. This huge open area here, and then this kind of smaller valley in the middle here. So this is where I want to kind of get things settled down. So I want to move all of my stuff and the villagers as well into a secure location over here. So then I can get ready to start actually building a house. What has happened here? What? Oh no. Okay, everything's been transported over, and I decided to just run along kind of the cliff face here and pick up some coal and some iron. And this is just from about here to over there kind of thing. So I've still got all of this over here, and then all of the mountains and stuff over there, and the mountains kind of over in that direction. So yeah, it's proved to be very, very fruitful, and we haven't even had to go down into a cave yet, so that's great. Before I start building any kind of house, though, there are a couple more resources I need to get. Some clay, some acacia wood, and I also need to plant more of these guys. I'm gonna need some sand, and we're gonna be waiting a while because we've only got 1 cactus. Okay, so I'm just gonna start grabbing my last few resources now. I also just noticed a rune portal. Yeah, a rune portal over there. We can go check that out. Just killed a pillager. One with the banner. There's only one. Wait, is that even possible? Okay, so because it's night, I'm gonna try and get some string, because if I am correct, crafting recipe for leads has changed. You no longer need slime balls. Oh my god, that's a lot of them. Yeah, I'm just gonna try and get some leads, because then I can get cows and stuff set up. And sheep. I just tried to get some glow ink sacks, because it goes all the way down there. There's a man with a trident. And I want to be able to take him out. See if I can get the trident. But that feels like it could end up going very poorly. Oh, here he comes. Oh! And he didn't drop it. He dropped a copper ingot, though. So while I'm waiting for this guy to grow, I'm gonna clear out some trees around here, maybe level the ground a bit, and then plant some of my own trees. I want to plant some acacia and some dark oak, is what I need for the house. Okay, so I've got enough dark oak now. I'm just waiting on acacia wood. And my cactus has slowly been growing. So I've got a few more now, as you can see. But I want to get a whole bunch, not just so that I can have more to grow, but also because I do need a lot of it, because I want to be able to dye this terracotta. I just did the math, and we need 40 cactus, and we've got one, so that's great. But the way that the acacia trees are growing, they're growing very slow, and you don't get a lot of wood from them, so honestly, it all worked out in the end. I've resorted to mining in order to kill time, because genuinely just standing there waiting for the trees and the cactus to grow, that was quite laborious. I wasn't really expecting to find one of these. That's a no-go for right now. I don't really want to... There's a shovel down there? I don't really want to go down there. It's because I know I'm going to spawn something in. I don't want to do that. But anyways, we now have all of the cactus we need, and I managed to get a whole bunch of wood in that time. I didn't actually just grow all of it. I ended up running over to the acacia biome and mining the rest of it because I got incredibly bored. So yeah, we now have everything we need. We just need to turn the terracotta, we need to dye it green, which is what all of this stuff will be used for, and then we can finally begin constructing everything. Okay, so I just laid the pillars down, kind of just to get an idea where the house is going to go. Looking at it now, it definitely needs to go back. I don't know why I built it so far forward. I guess I just thought I would want more room out the back, but I'd actually like to push it closer into the hillside. So let's shimmy that back a few blocks. I don't think it needs to go that way. I think if we just push it back, maybe to like here or so, then it should be a lot better. Yeah, I pushed it back a bit, and I think I moved it over this way by 1 block, and I actually think that that's just about perfect. Yeah, so what we're going to do now, build up the pillars, and we'll kind of get some of the walls in, and go from there. Okay, so it is just kind of a facade right now. So I do actually need to work on expanding it towards the hillside here. But there are a couple of things I realize I did overlook. I do need some glass for the windows, and I also want to get some more oak wood for the floor, because I haven't been farming oak wood. That's currently all I have, so I'm going to need to go cut down some more trees. Until then, though, we can continue expanding the house out this way. We need a couple more spaces here to play with. I had to pull back my makeshift cactus farm for now. Honestly, I should probably just remove the whole thing, because I'm going to need to take that and that out in order to actually terraform this kind of hill here into the back of the house. Because the house won't look very big from the outside, but I plan to dig into the kind of mound here and expand it a little bit. Have some more rooms. You know, if I decide to build more structures kind of along the sides of the valley here, then I can have tunnels and stuff interlinking them all. It would be really interesting to do something like that. So I'm going to need to take all this down and kind of throw in some dirt and stuff to make it all look nice. just killed by a skeleton, and I'm so depressed because not only did I just not want to die, but I had 30 levels. Now I'm back down to 3. That's incredibly, incredibly disappointing. Okay, so there is going to be a second floor up at the top here, obviously, but I would like to do a little bit of terraforming just before I get to any of that. I'm not really sure how I want to do this. Just something like that, maybe. Just kind of go up from there. And like that, I don't really know. Ah! Oh, jeez. Okay, so by following the outline of the house, that should give us enough space on the inside to do what we want to do. Okay, I think the rest of the cactus farm has to go now. As well as my little composting setup that's underneath there will have to be moved as well. Okay, so that doesn't look half bad. I mean, over here is still... Over here it still looks like this, but that we can change pretty soon. Just want to know what everything looks like underneath right now. We jump down into here. Okay, so this is what we have to work with. Yeah, so we're just going to dig this in a little bit further and probably build some kind of storage room. That's probably as far as I'm going to get today. Okay, so before I build any kind of storage room, though, I would like to get a few more diamonds, just because I want the floor pattern that I've designed that I want to use for my storage room. I need some glowstone for some redstone lamps, so I need to go to the nether, so I need a diamond pickaxe in order to mine some obsidian. Oh, and the reason my shaders might look a little bit different is because I did some fiddling around with it. I kind of changed a few things around behind the scenes, so if it looks a little bit different, that's why. Something a little bit more than gold, so I've thrown some tin cans on here. And now we can go down there. Okay, so I managed to get 3 diamonds so far. I couldn't find anything in that initial cave I went down. It was just deep dark. So I eventually just ran like miles away from the mountain, found one of the azalea trees and dug down. I managed to get into one of these caves, and I'm hoping to leave with a few more diamonds. I'm hoping that this cave connects up to something bigger, and I'm able to find a few more diamonds. Oh my god, yes. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Probably it, right? 7. So I've got 10 now. That's a bit better. If I don't find anything else, I'd be okay with leaving now. But it looks like, yeah, it looks like we're going to have some more in this bigger part of the cave. I think there's some more, yeah, up there too. All right, buddy. You're my friend now. Okay, so I'm finally out of the cave. Phantoms are attacking me. Skeletons are attacking me. Get out. Stop. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I really don't want to, but it's probably gonna happen. Okay. Oh my god. Okay, that... Anyways, I can finally now mine the obsidian I need for a nether portal. I might also grab some for an enchanting table as well. Okay, so right here is where I'm gonna put my temporary nether portal. I don't know what to expect going in here, but I guess we'll find out. I forgot it looks like that. Okay, in we go. Okay, not the end of the world. This is a pretty big warped forest. I don't think I've ever seen one this big before. Normally, the ones I've found have been pretty small. But anyways, we came in here for glowstone, so I need to pick up a whole bunch of that. Okay, so with that out of the way, all of my glowstone collected. I've got a stack and a half up here, and a little bit of extra dust down there. I did realize I don't have anywhere near enough redstone for this, so I actually need to go back down into the cave and get more redstone, because while my haul was pretty fruitful, I got like 40 somewhat diamonds, but I didn't get nearly enough redstone to make the lamp, so I need to go back. Redstone has been collected and pumpkin farm has been constructed. I need pumpkins for the floor pattern as well, which seems a little bit strange, but I promise when it's all together it'll look very nice. Um yeah, I was an idiot and I turned all of my pumpkins into pumpkin seeds. So I've got a bunch of spare seeds, but I don't really want to like expand the farm too much, so probably just gonna have a bunch of spare pumpkin seeds. But I'm kind of thinking that I go to the nether, try and get some bone blocks. Well, probably could just use some of these, honestly, to grow up the stems to make the pumpkins spawn in faster. I wasn't even able to grow a full row up. I do need to go to the nether. Okay, there's a fortress over there, which is nice, but I can see the Soul Sand Valley, and that is exactly what I'm looking for. Oh, I really wish I was recording for that. And I cut tears! The heck? Oh, jeez. You know what? I don't need to worry about that one. I got tears, and now I can collect my bone blocks, and maybe even find a dried gas. It'd be cool. Get one of the happy ghasts. Ooh. These guys look kinda scary. The one glowing eye. Okay, so pumpkins are growing nicely, and I've actually just kinda looked at the raw materials I'd need for that floor I wanted to build. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna need for the floor. Not as many redstone lamps as I expected. We're gonna need some note blocks as well, and not that many pumpkins either. The only time-consuming thing is gonna be the oak wood, specifically those logs. I'm gonna need four. I'm gonna need almost 5 stacks of logs, and then I'm gonna need, yeah, and then just over 2 stacks of oak stairs. So that's gonna take a little bit of time to actually gather up, but the rest of the stuff should be no problem. But where the room is going to go is right kind of behind here. Like, there's going to be a wall that goes right here, separating this part of the house from that. Then back here, I think, is where I'm going to be constructing that big room with like a storage system, a crafting area, all that stuff. But for now, I just like to get this part of the house constructed because I want to put a bedroom in. That way I actually have a designated place to sleep and stuff, because that bed on the top of the hill, it's not really a good place for that. Okay, so this is kind of how big the room is going to be, and then now we're actually going to get the floor constructed for the upper level, because there is a door there. There is going to be an upper level. I kind of went back and forth about it in my head for a little bit, because I was like, well, do I just want kind of like a little balcony area up here to be able to access the door, or do I want to completely separate it, have 2 floors to this place? Because it does feel a lot nicer to have all the space here as opposed to only having 3 blocks of vertical space. But honestly, I think the second floor is the way to go. Alright, so now we have both floors done, and up here, it's not the most elegant thing, but we've got a ladder up into here, and this is where my bedroom is going to be. I'm going to take this out, place it with a little bit of glass. We're going to have the balcony to be able to look out into the valley here. So I do want to get everything decorated and set up in here, but I also want to go get some sand for glass, because we've also got these windows here that we need to fill in. I've neglected putting the glass into the windows, so I need to do that as well. I'll admit, I always thought it would be too annoying to use doors underwater to, like, mine, but it's actually not that bad. Okay, so the glass has now been put in both here and also the two pieces up there. And I've put together some of the materials I need for the floor in the back room back there. I've got that. I just need all of the oak wood. I need to go mine, I need to mine, 8 stacks or so of oak logs. I gathered 9 stacks of logs just to be safe, even though that's way more than I actually needed, because turns out I already had the stairs crafted. They were just sitting in here, so that's not a problem. I only need 5 stacks. The rest of this can just go in here for now, and then we've got a bunch of spare wood. Okay, so I just want to position the schematic just kind of in where I want it to go. Don't normally use light matica. I'm not entirely used to this. Did I get that right? I think that's right. I think we're now level, so we can just scoot that in this way. Okay. There we go. Now this is where everything's going to go. So if I place a log here. Okay. Perfect. We can just do that. And now with that, it's time to get that room finally constructed. Let's go. Okay, the floor has been all placed in now, except for the redstone lamps. Those are gonna go in here. I wanted to do those separately because I need to dig down. I'm gonna place a lever on the bottom and flick it on, so that way the lights are on. That's 1 row done. That's 3 rows done. Quick break to check out a wandering trader, and that's now all of them. Okay, so I do need to put the walls in now, and I'm not entirely sure what I'm gonna do for the walls and the roof and everything. Because I'm probably gonna want to dig a little bit higher for the roof. I'll have to get that done, but I'll probably start with the walls and then go from there. But you guys will just see the final result anyway. We got the walls in and we're about to get the roof in, but I've suddenly realized I'm gonna have to do a whole bunch more terraforming. We've got stuff. Ah, and it's raining, but we got stuff sticking out the side there. Got stuff sticking out the side there, and we've got also an opening back here, I believe. Yeah. Okay, so this actually looks really cool now that it's all done. I was a little concerned at first about the harsh transition between the green and the orange, but I don't think it looks that bad right now, and I'm probably just gonna put a line of something going across here, or something like that, just to separate them a little bit, just so that it's just not right from the green to the orange. But yeah, this is pretty crazy to see. I can't wait to start lining the place with chests and all that kind of thing, 'cause this is gonna be where my main storage room is. Okay, so what do we all think of this then? So this is kind of what I'm going for here. I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sections of chests. I'm not really sure if I'm going to put any on this wall or not, or if I'm going to put something else on this wall. I'll probably put some crafting tables and stuff like that in here. Maybe some furnaces as well, just so that I have an area where I can actually do some crafting and stuff in here, because it'd be pretty pointless if I had all my storage and no workbenches to do anything with at all. Are patrols always this big? I feel like they're not always this big. I just died an embarrassing amount of times whilst trying to kill those guys. Okay. So not only do I have all of my stuff sorted kind of sparsely, I've spaced out everything, but also I've laid out little workstations around here with different things that I'll need. And it kind of got really interesting because depending on where certain things were stored, I was deciding where to place certain workstations based on like all the ores and stuff are stored over here. So all the blast furnaces and all that will be on this side, and things like trims and armor and stuff are over here. So I've got all like the smithing stuff and the anvil and everything. I kind of ran out of ideas as to what to put over here, so there's just a bunch of crafting tables. But yeah, as of right now, this storage room it's functional. I've got everything I need in here. I do want to do some more decorating. Like I said earlier, kind of put a line of something across between the orange and the green. And I was going to put all this stuff on the wall here initially, but I like this idea better, so need something else to put on the wall, whether that's more chests or something else, I'm not entirely sure. But before I do any of that, I want to turn my attention up to my bedroom here, because I have moved my bed, but this is a very empty room right now, so I want to try and add some things into here to make it look a little bit nicer. It has been done. We walk in here, look at this place. We've got a bed, bookshelves. We got our first set of armor over here too. This is something I wanted to do, is throw the gold armor on the armor stand. Got a little desk here with a book. I've built a tank for my axolotl, so he's chilling in there. Yeah, I got a little place for storage, and also thought to play music. Alright, and with that, I think we're going to end things here. We got quite a bit done, and there's definitely a lot more I want to do. But for a start, I'm actually really happy with where we got, and especially with the house and how everything's turning out so far. I'm not really the best at building or anything like that. It was definitely nice to try my hand at that, you know, stuff like the floor pattern down there, and also with this incredibly interesting house design that I came up with. I don't even know however long ago. I just found this on a Pocket Edition world. But anyways, that'll be it. See ya. Now seems like a very good time to mention the random audio cutouts that happen occasionally while I'm talking in the video, and that's simply because of the noise gate I have set up. So it's like if I'm talking like ever so slightly too quietly, it just cuts out. And I didn't realize it was doing that, so I'll try and have that fixed in the future.